Now this is my uranium plant. This is a pattern where you got 300 uranium coming in and you build a single line. You can build one line at a time. When I first built this, I had 300 uranium coming in, but these machines were filling up. They're getting up to 100 uranium in here, and I couldn't set up here without being irradiated. I couldn't look around. The failsafe I built in, I ran power lines to every miner, every uranium miner out there. So all these go to each uranium mine, and I can shut them all off at any time. Or I can shut them off individually. I can cut the power line, which I've had to do many times. But to solve the problem with this filling up, I had to build a regulator. So all the uranium coming in here dumps out into a storage bin. Then it comes out into a regulator. Yeah, I've got two Mark II belts. 120 gives me 240. And I got a Mark I belt in here, gives me another 60. So total coming out is 300. So I got my 300 per minute, and you can keep these, at 100 per minute. Got a vertical splitter here. Gives me 100 per minute to each machine. Everything is run 1-to-1 where I could. Problem is, the ideal thing is have a maximum of 20, because when it recycles, it has to have 10 in there. If you get down to 9, it'll stall, and then you'll get up to 28. Yeah, see? So you get up to 28 on these, because running 20 is almost impossible. Some of them are doing it. Yeah, that one's doing it. That one's running 10, so the radiation on that one is about half of what this one is. It's nice. So I got a 1-to-1, the output's going here, 1-to-1. We've got a 5-wide pattern. So I'm using vertical to keep everything in pattern. Everything comes down, goes to these guys. You got to get 100 of these guys before it flips over, but they're not too bad. I can sit here and not get irradiated. So this is a good section. The outputs of these are all going 1-to-1. They're going down under. They're all going into the reactors here, and they're all kept at a minimum, so they run nice, 100% with no fuel. So all this is nice and non-radioactive, so I can come up here and check it out. Now each one of these has 6 reactors, so I got 6 times 6250. So I got 37.5 gigawatts per line. I got 7 lines. You can make 7 lines with the existing uranium that's on the planet. You can build more, and it's actually best to keep 7 lines and do more reactors if you use the alt recipes and use the converter recipes. to create uranium. But that's what we got. We got 262.5 gigawatts coming out of all the uranium processing. We got 6 of these. Thing about uranium processing, you've got to do something about the waste. Got a lot of waste coming in here. I got 150 per minute on each lane, total of 1050. I manifold the waste out because it doesn't back up. I mean, there's no point in trying to balance that in any way, shape, or form. So what you do is you just manifold it down, and then you run it into a 4 vertical converter here, and puts 37.5 per lane. 37.5 for all 3 of these. And then the 4th one is 37.5 for the plutonium pellets. The plutonium pellets and the plutonium processing takes a lot of materials. We got 6 or 7 drones here. And they all come down here. We got the pellets coming out, and we make plutonium cells. These are not bad. They're really hot, but you know it's only 2 per minute, so you can get, or not 2 per cycle. So you can get down to 2 if you can massage things to do it. But I've been stalled and overflowed so many times that getting them down to minimum is almost impossible. You need 60 of these. These get hot. This is like really hot. So this whole place is, you can't get there. So I got to go up my maximum to be able to get out of the radiation. These things are hot. And make the fuel rods. Everything's coming in line by line. And then the fuel rods are just manifolded out because they're slow. It works nicely. And you just run them into a grinder. Alright, so that's my uranium processing. You can make 7 lines, 1 at a time, and use them or not use them. I built 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many before everything went to you know what. And I eventually had to turn it off my main power because it was just too unreliable. I got them all out and it ran decently for a while. Had a lot of problems with sulfuric acid. You see, I got sulfuric acid processing online on site, and encapsulated beams are being produced on site. Everything else is being brought in by drones. Bad thing about drones, they stop in midair. Yeah, I've had that happen so many times that I had to disconnect this from my main power. And all the things I had to build to support all of this, I had to build additional rocket fuel power in order to support this. Now, if they ever get around to fixing the drones, I'll put this back online and continue building stuff. But until then, this is just making stuff. It's making powder for no use. After I get all this done, I started working on the fixoning process. That's a whole nother line, which takes an immense amount of auxiliary product to support it. So I've had to build additional plants and everything to support all that. I won't go into that now. If you want to build a nuclear plant, you can just build a simple one line, get your feet wet in the nuclear power, and then try to expand that, which will force you to build everything else all around, which is the great thing and satisfactory. It is very satisfactory. Hope y'all have fun.